Hey people, welcome to my channel. My name is Larissa and today we are finally gonna do some Halloween decorations. I love the holidays like Halloween, Christmas, a little bit of fall. I don't do fall as much, but I'm so excited, so let's get right into it. For the first one, I actually made it inspired by this terracotta jack-o'-lantern from Pottery Barn. They came out with this black version of it, which is really distressed. I love it, and lucky for me, like a year or two ago, I got all those pumpkins 90% off at Walmart and Hobby Lobby, I believe, and I still haven't used them, but I knew I would come up with something to use them. I have this bag of plaster since college still, so we're gonna put it to use today. So I'm gonna mix it with water. I don't want too much water because I want it thick so that I can dab it onto my pumpkins. I would say this is a little too runny, but that's okay. And now we go on to the pumpkin, which there isn't much secret here. I'm just getting it all over it, and then at the end I try to dab a little bit to get a little texture because I want it to be rough and distressed, kind of like the inspiration. Now mine is just gonna be just a normal pumpkin, no eyes, mouth, and those things, because I didn't want to carve them and I wanted this look. Obviously, if you want to go with the lantern thing, you could potentially carve those. They are foam, so it shouldn't be too hard. And another thing I wanted to mention, Dollar Tree does have a bunch of very similar pumpkins, so if you don't want to wait until the end of the season to get them all 90% off, you could grab some at the Dollar Tree. But anyways, let's repeat the process on all my pumpkins and then we'll let them dry. And now that they're dry, I'm gonna paint them using spray paint. For the first batch, I'm using a flat black paint. And before that dries, I'm just throwing some flour on top of it. And then after it's dry, I just remove the excess. This kind of gives that old dusty look to it. Another option here, since this is food, you could use soil and just rub it all over. And then at the end, it's very important, no matter if you use the flour or the dirt, to seal it with a spray to keep any of that from just coming out and falling all over your house, or have any animals try to eat your flour. That might happen too. I say this from experience. Because the first one I didn't seal and I left it outside to dry and a bird ate the thing. Anyways, one of those things that should have been common sense, but apparently it wasn't for me. But on a better note, I always get those paint whenever I see the yellow tag on them. If they are on clearance and it's a color that I probably will use, I grab them even if I don't need them at the time. Which is what we're gonna use to make the second batch, because I want to create a little brownish, orangey version of this. So I'm just mixing the colors and adding the flour, removing the excess, and very importantly, sealing it. I ain't forgetting that again. If you ask me, my favorite one is the black one. I try to use other colors, but black just has my heart. It just has it. For the second DIY, I was inspired by this spider candy bowl from Pottery Barn as well. I had seen it in their website, and when I saw the spider at the Dollar Tree, I knew we could do something at least somewhat similar. So I'm gonna use my X-Acto knife to just go breaking out all those little pieces that it has as like the back, because the idea is to have somewhere where the plate that I'm gonna use as the bowl to sit on. For the plate, you can use a thrifted plate. I found this one at Target and I loved it because it's kind of a little organic. It's not completely round. So that's the one that I'm gonna use. And to attach it, I'm gonna use some E6000 for it to be permanent, and a little bit of hot glue just around it to hold it while the E6000 is drying. I'm gonna use the same thing that I used for the pumpkins, just a little bit of plaster with water. And again, no secret here, I'm just gonna apply all over the spider bowl. And to pair with it, I have the spider from Dollar Tree from like years ago. I used to use it on my wall. That's why it has this command there. I don't want it to have this sparkle thing though, so I'm gonna remove that first. And then I'm just gonna repeat the same process that I did with the ball with this spider. And once again, I used the black spray paint and the flower to give that little dusty look. For the third DIY, I saw those skeleton martini glasses and I just love it. I would have glassware for every occasion, but I don't have space. So instead, we are gonna get this skeleton garland. It comes with 4 skeletons. And before anything, use mask even if working outside here. I'm gonna use my heat gun to make the skeleton soft enough so I can pose it to kind of hug my glass. The legs and the head moves a little bit, so I'm just using a dab of hot glue to keep it in place with the pose that I want. We could use them bare like that, but I wanted to have a metallic effect, so I'm gonna spray paint them black and use Robin Buff in antique gold to, well, make it look like antique gold. If you have never used this thing, I highly recommend. A little bit goes a long way, and I use it in everything. It's amazing. You see this glow up? I need it for me too. But anyways, now I can just slightly open their arms and place them on my glasses. And if I don't want them to move, just a little dab of hot glue on the glassware and it won't be moving. And if I do want to remove it, I just pull it out and it's like I never glued it. And since we're here, let me show you how I made this bloody drippy thing because it's so easy. All you're gonna need is honey and red food coloring. And that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to give it a like and let me know in the comments which one was your favorite.